we're going to hear from Benji Lewis, a community activist in Corvallis, a current sister, and a founding member of Iraq Veterans Against the War, Oregon. A former Marine Corps corporal, Benji served in Haditha and Fallujah in Iraq. Give a warm welcome for Benji Lewis, please. Come on over, Benji.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for showing up in the cold. My name is Benji Lewis, and I'm currently refusing to be involuntarily activated into the Marine Corps, where they have asked me to go back to Iraq for a third tour. I was enlisted in the Marine Corps for 4 years, and as stated, I served in Fallujah and Haditha in 2004 and 2005, and I was discharged nearly 2 years ago to this date. They have asked me to go back to perpetuate terrorism, and have asked me to kill innocents in order to protect my brothers and sisters again. Well, I have publicly said no, and I will continue to say no, for I see my brothers and sisters right here, right now around me. Today I represent Iraq Veterans Against the War, Oregon, as a co-sponsor and supporter of the Keep Oregon's Guard in Oregon campaign. As vets, we have concluded that the only way to right this ship is to stop making vets, to stop treating the symptoms of war, and to start working towards poisoning the roots of war. Knowledge is the first step as how do we do that. We are here today to challenge and eradicate the dominant paradigm, to challenge the legitimacy of militarism. We are refusing to participate in wars at home and abroad. The wars abroad are contemptible in and of themselves. Both the Iraq and Afghanistan wars are wars for conquest, for empire, and for the benefit of a few. And how does this happen? At home we fill ourselves with lazy and dangerous thoughts. I see workers struggling to get by, blame their fellow woes on other workers struggling to get by, not seeing how the masters of commerce have created both of their situations and now pit them against one another. I see militarism in the anti-war movement, where too many believe there is nothing wrong with the military, only the politics behind it, as if an M1 tank has ever solved more problems than it has created. I hear the audacity of people who would call a war a good war in the face of U.S.'s despicable history in causing the mess we now claim to be cleaning up in Afghanistan. Still, we blame our problems on immigration, lack of security, foreign threats, and whatever other nonsense. As humans, we will place blame 10 times easier than we will accept responsibility. Our sense of entitlement, our stake in the system blinds us. We drink from the cup without questioning the source of the water. Our money pours into border patrols, police, military, Israel, back pockets of CEOs and politicians, and who knows whatever else. But what do we get? We get nothing. Tax rebates, digital TV, overpriced clothes, unemployment, PTSD, laid-off teachers, and other abysmal handouts. We do know that the money is not going to schools, creating beneficial jobs, housing, or health care, that it is not coming back to feed us. These are some of the wars at home we must first win if we ever hope to create a better world, a safer world, a cleaner world, a world where humans are not born into the inherited sins of their forebears, a world where creative expression and meaningful lives dominate the empty spaces that wage labor and oppression previously occupied. There were no WMDs in Iraq. Saddam Hussein is no longer in power. Indeed, he is no longer living. The connection made between 9/11 and Iraq was false and perpetrated through instilling fear and racism in Americans. Yet these are the reasons cited to authorize military use in Iraq. Clearly, this authorization is invalid and outdated. Again, in Afghanistan, we authorize military forces necessary to combat the impossible global war on terror. And thus this nation has sunk to its lowest low, that we will make preemptive war on other peoples based on our ideal for world control. On Wednesday, the House Rules Committee first heard the bill, HB 2556, that simply states we Oregonians will only let our Guard be deployed legally and with restraint as intended by the Constitution. Resolutions HR 4 and SR 1 will urge the governor to use his power to prevent the use of Oregon's Guard in empire building. Call your representatives and senators, go to their offices, demand the bill and resolution pass. About 3,000 Oregonians in the National Guard are poised to be sent to this war despite the invalid authorizations. We need to get this bill passed now. Let us also stop fighting these wars at home. Support your neighbor, support each other, support GI resistance, support your environment, support our future generations on this planet, but be wary of empire, be wary of scapegoating, and do not support our government's intentional misallocation of our resources, human or material. We want HB 2556 passed now. Thank you.
Let's give Benji another big round of applause. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe in. Thank you so much for being here with us today.